Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're checking out the Satan Dragon deck. This is the one I used for the Dragon storyline video. If you had checked that out, it's a pretty okay deck and it's definitely a fun one to test out and it's reasonably consistent. So we are going to get right into it and check it out. So kicking us off here, right off the bat, we're going up against Forest. There's not a lot to say about this deck. You're mainly focusing on ramp and of course Satan as your primary win conditions. If you're interested in seeing a lot of matches with this deck, I highly recommend checking out my hour-long video of the storyline for Rowan, as we played this deck quite a bit in that, and I think the games overall at least showcased what this deck does a little bit better than, of course, rotation, since rotation is highly competitive. So we started off in this deck pretty averagely. It's not great. We didn't get any ramp. We kind of bricked it, which is not good for us at all. We definitely need to get something good on turn 2, which we didn't, so Raging Dragon was really my only play against Forest, since I need something out early game to deal with anything they might play. And we did bait the Predatory Might, which I'm actually okay with. I'd rather bait that out early than wait on it, so that's good. I decided to go for the early Anne Rose to try and set up boards, since I am going to probably go for Genesis next turn anyway. Especially against this kind of board, Genesis is looking pretty good as an option. So we need to make do with what we've got. Queen of the Forest is looking pretty good target right now, overall. Especially for Omen, since I can go for 3 damage to face. And we have another Omen for next turn that we can use, which will trigger itself for Evo, so that's good as well. And Forest should actually have a hard time dealing with the Omens because of the fact that they play a lot of low-cost stuff. Peerless Shot, though, is fairly decent. It's actually a card that I don't include in my own Forest variation. But they are including here, so not bad to see that. Go for the Angelic Smite just to dig through our deck a little bit and set up some more ramp. Because ideally Maiden with Satan is our best play. Which, thinking actually on it, I could have done that next turn. Yeah, that would have worked, wouldn't it? If I had an Azure Maiden with the Evo effect, I could have then triggered it, went up to 9, played Satan. Because I would have gained 2 back off it? Surely. No. No, that would have actually... No, it wouldn't have worked, surely. I would have dropped down, went back up. No, that would have worked. It would have cost 1. I could have went back up, got the extra point. Yeah, so I could have went for that play, looking back on it, which would have probably been overall better. Not that this was necessarily all bad. This actually went fairly well. But I definitely could have got the earlier Satan play out, which would have been a huge advantage. But getting a little bit later Satan isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it did end up to the concede, so they obviously decided that Satan was too much to bear and they couldn't deal with it. Next up, we are playing against a DragonCraft by the looks of it. I'm trying to keep these videos reasonably short because they aren't crazy good and they don't show off the new cards too much. Definitely, if you want to see the new card in action a lot more, check out my other Dragon video. I definitely will revisit these sort of decks that I haven't got great gameplay coverage of, as it is still so early in the expansion and there's so much variation going around that it's hard to show everything off the way I want to. It's always the case with new stuff that comes out. It shakes things up just enough that it makes it hard to get decent gameplay in the early stages of the rotation without spending 3 to 4 hours of just trying to get that one nice gameplay for you guys, which honestly is way more time than I've got to spend on one video. Usually I'll average about an hour of gameplay per video to get a couple of decent games. Sometimes it's not that long, but sometimes it is, so... We did fairly well here. We actually ramped up rapidly, which is insane. Getting a really good value out of this and being able to just deal the damage we needed. It's no wonder that this game went so smoothly against Rune, since it really was an issue. They ended up that early of a concede. Satan would have been next, which would have probably crippled them anyway, but it was just so insanely fast. So overall for this deck, I really enjoyed playing it. It is quite legendary heavy, which is a little unfortunate, but if you can get in a good early ramp like you saw in that last bit of gameplay, you can really close games super quickly, and it's not usually too big of a problem. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, guys, see ya.